The Sun Sign News Daily Horoscopes are for information purposes only. The Sun Sign News Daily Horoscopes are not intended to replace professional medical, psychological, legal, or investment advice. It is the intention of the author of the Sun Sign News that the daily horoscopes be used in conjunction with one's own common sense and, if warranted, the advisement of a professional and licensed physician, psychologist, attorney, or investment advisor, etc. Welcome to another edition of the Sun Sign News. Today's horoscopic reading is for Thursday, June 8th, 2023, calculated for sunrise, Eastern Standard Time, and beginning with the sign currently occupied by the Sun, Gemini. Our apologies, but it looks like a bit of a humdrum astrological prediction for your sign today, one of those days best used for taking care of all that stuff responsible adults have to deal with. You can be detail-oriented, right? Now, we're not saying that it plays a large role in the day's events, but the stars also hint at someone from a foreign land, or at least who is currently far away, possibly making contact. Cancer. If the day starts off on a sort of sour note, and according to the stars this is possible, just hold on, because by noon things should be looking up. This evening, your plans are subject to change. What does that mean? How does knowing that help you? It's just a forewarning that the evening will go better if you remain flexible. Leo. It's another one of those interpretations of the stars for your sign wherein we warn you, Leo, about hasty and premature action regarding your closest relationships and your employer. And perhaps in all this, maybe we've been a little hard on your sign lately. Maybe. You see, the purpose of astrology is to show you where the pitfalls are before you reach them and fall into one. And in this regard, the current position of the planets has been making the force of your personality really, really intense. So much so that you could inadvertently trample those around you, and in particular, those closest to you. In other words, if you're not careful, from the perspective of your significant other and employer, you could be a little hard to be around. This is one of those days when that aforementioned intensity is at its peak. So get out there and play big, cuddly, loving, fun lion today, not ferocious, huge teeth, hungry lion. Virgo. Does it help if we tell you in advance that there is some potential for morning affairs, particularly those involving your job or profession, to be a little stressful? Does it help if we tell you in advance that by noon most of that nonsense will have straightened out, and that there is a very good chance that single-handed you'll have flipped it all into a positive? How about this? Romance looks pretty neutral tonight, so save the big plans and expensive gestures for a night with more promise. Libra. Morning plans are subject to change, and a friend could say something incredibly stupid. Don't let it set the stage for the day, because once you're over this little hurdle, you're in for one of those bright and sunny days. Even if you have a job you hate, you could find yourself having some fun. Remember what we said about not letting the morning set the stage. Romance is projected to be rocket to the moon hot and may include something very unexpected. Pleasantly unexpected. Scorpio. There's no easy way to say this. The theme for the day for Scorpio is tension. This tension is focused on matters of family, work, or profession, and your closest relationship. Yeah, it stinks. This tension that we are referring to is the type that, if not properly managed, leads to rash or premature severing of ties. Indeed, sometimes things need to be said. Equally, sometimes a relationship, either personal or professional, just isn't working anymore. But the message in the stars for you today is that you need to give this sort of stuff some thought before you do or say something. Sagittarius. With the exception of some minor aggravation in the morning, most likely coming in the form of a call, text, or email, you should be looking at a day filled with fun and intellectual stimulation. Single archers should be as social as time allows for, as the day holds great potential for romantic connections. Attached archers should find that their significant other is an enthusiastic and reliable partner for any sort of life's adventure you can conjure up. Capricorn. The day may begin with an unexpected expense, or you could find yourself engaged in some sort of impulse purchase. Careful. Aside from that, It looks like one of those days when you can effectively demonstrate your best leadership qualities both in your personal life and in the workplace. Aquarius. There is a powerful stellar influence over your sign today that can lead to conflict with your significant other as well as your family, or perhaps between your significant other and your family. The test in all of this is for you to negotiate these emotional rough waters by ensuring first that you are not being overly selfish or willful in it all. Why? Because the stars say it looks like there is the potential for you to be overly selfish or willful. Now, if you can effectively navigate this emotion-centered challenge, the day's stellar influences also provide you with the opportunity for fun, play, romance, and, if you're normally inclined to occasional bursts of creativity, maybe even a great idea. Pisces. Who's the biggest jerk in the office, or the biggest jerk you have to deal with in the course of your profession? Yeah, that's the one. But his or her ability to negatively impact your day should be limited only to the morning, and by noon the day should take a turn for the better. One more warning. It's not only one of those extra caution while out on the road evenings, but one during which you should avoid any typically cantankerous neighbors. Aries. A friend could interrupt something important this morning, and there is a good chance you'll be asked by him or her for some sort of relationship advice. This is what friends do. Later, and after you've done your good deed for the day, pretty much everything starts going your way. Smooth sailing. Romance looks really good for the night too. If attached, go do something fun. If single, get out there and meet somebody. The only warning is against making an impulse purchase sometime tonight that will be regretted as quickly as tomorrow. Taurus. Our interpretation of the stars is that career matters are likely the biggest issue for the day. If you're seeking out a new position, in the process of being hired, or presently negotiating, ask more questions. You may not like the answers you get, and better to know now than later. If you're already employed and content, you may get news from your employer that the contentment is not mutual. Something may need to change. If you are already employed and not content, this could be the day when you're pushed to make a change. Conflicts between home and work are also possible. But there is some good news here, and this comes in the form of financial power. Thus, if negotiations are about money, you do have a good chance of getting at least part of what you want. If you've enjoyed the audio version of the Sun Sign News, we ask that you give us a thumbs up and even subscribe to this channel if you are so inclined. That will help keep us on the air and delivering a daily dose of cynicism and sarcasm wrapped in a supercharged daily sun sign horoscope. And remember, don't blame us.